Hello everybody and welcome back to Edgewater, Saskatchewan. So today we are in April, and April finally means we can put some lentils in our fields. So I have my planter, it's set to lentils. Let's turn her on, let's drop her down, and let's finally put some crops in this massive field. Lentils are going to be a good amount of money, I'm hoping anyway. You know, one slight downside which I've noticed is the best time for lentils are in July. When are these ready to harvest? August. Great. Does that mean we're going to have to wait a whole year before we can sell these to get the best price? Yeah, probably. Oh, that was misjudged. Fences always get in the way. I think we're going to get a nice amount because this is a massive field. Now I've took out all the middle bits and the little like streams in the middle and the trees. This is huge. Also, since the last episode, been sorting out the BGA. Finally done a bit of research on that to work out exactly what we should be doing with that, and I managed to sort out the cow pasture. I was having issues with the milk. Just milk and slurry just wasn't seem to be stored anywhere, but I figured out what the issue was with that, so that's all good now. We are finally storing some milk and slurry. And the BGA, well, after the first time of going to sleep after the last episode, BGA stopped because it was full of digestate. I thought that wasn't right, something's wrong there. What do? Do we sell it? And I noticed, you saw on the last episode, I said it was coming up with a little tab saying you can like distribute it across the biogas plant. And I didn't really know what that meant. Well, I managed to find out what it meant was I should have had a liquid storage tank for the digestate to go because it generates so much. So putting a tank in means that it can store the digestate in one of them big tanks. Remember the big tanks that we had on the Western Wilds? One of them. So put one of them in, all's good. We can now finally store a lot of digestate and then maybe be able to sell it at the end. But it's about, there's a few million litres worth. So I think we should be okay. So the biogas plant is making us a nice amount of money. You can see the bank account's not looking too bad. So hopefully we are going in the step in the right direction really. With these lentils as well. And I have bought another field to try and do some more grass because the BGA absolutely chews through the silage. And that is our main thing that we need. So let's see if we can finish this off then. We're not going to get to the edge here, are we? This plant is massive. We're going to miss a little bit of the edge there. Just a little bit. So let's go around, let's do a time lapse, and let's see if we can get some of this field done.
You know that I'm the queen of overthinking. It's like we're done before we even started. So if this is the end now, baby, know that I gave it my all. I believe in us, I won't give up on you. I will be holding on for life. Hope you believe in us, please don't give up on me. At least give me a try. 'Cause you're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing that I've ever had. You're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing. 'Cause you're the As I'm walking to your place, I'm shaking. I am picturing the words in my mind. I cannot stand losing you. No, I will fight. 'Cause I believe in us, I won't give up on you. I will be holding on for life.
So that's the field all done, nice and full of lentils. We're going to have a look in here. You see bright green shows it's in the first stage of growing. If we go across to here, the whole field has gone bright orange. Lentils are in. Now, there's one thing we've got to do. If we go and have a quick look on here, you'll see that it's obviously fertilized. apart from the little bits there which have been flattened out, but we can correct them next time. You can see it needs rolling. So I said in previous episodes that I wanted to get a new roller. Now we've got a bit of money thanks to the BGA, so I've now gone and bought one of these. This is this multi-roller that I said. It's about £140,000, so it's not the cheapest, but it allows you to do 3 in 1. So you can use it as a field roller, a mulcher, and a grass roller. So that is what we've got to do now. So planters part back, washed, cleaned, ready for another day. Now, brand new roller. We'll go spread it apart and roll it around the field. Now it's a big field, but it shouldn't take too long because, well, as you'll see, this thing does open out quite wide to about 24, I think it's 24.3 meters it says. That's a fair size. So this one's slightly different than from the in-game one. It looks the same, but you can actually raise and lower it, which is quite cool, you see. So we can actually drop it down, you can lift it up. In-game one, you can't. It's down all the time, and it makes it very tricky to sort of maneuver around places. So we'll drop it down, and we'll just go run around. Now I'm hoping it's going to give ish, you know, kind of pattern, because it's going to be very tricky to see where you've gone. Now the only way of doing it is to keep referring to the little map. Go on here and see the light blue will disappear and show the dark blue fertilized underneath. So I might have to keep doing that just to check on where I've been. But this is, you have to do this straight after harvesting. Try not to catch it on the fence. Always a bit tricky with when you're trying to handle something this big. So we'll go around, get it all rolled, and I'll come back to you. We get near the end. So the rolling definitely is a bit of a challenge because it's very tricky to see. So I'm having to rely on a worker to try and help me out to get as many bits as possible. Otherwise you're back and forth to the map to have a look where you've covered and where you've missed. So luckily the worker is doing a pretty good job getting every little bit. Every so often the worker will just disappear and go home, but it's the kind of shape of the field, it's strange patterns. But we are nearly done. If we go and have a quick look on the map now, we've just got that little bit. There's a couple of little bits that have been missed. Nothing too much. So we'll let the worker finish. Then this field is ready. So all the rolling has been done. And like I said, there's a few little patches, but I don't think that's going to make a massive amount of difference. The majority of it's done. Shame that we can't get it all to second stage fertilizing. I don't know if we could go over them patches again, if it would actually do anything or not. But for now, that field is looking pretty good, and this roller has done me well. It is a great roller, and the fact that it's 3 in 1, even better. So the roller's all washed off, and we're going to park it over here because I'm actually starting to run out of space. A lot of big equipment like this, nowhere to go. So the swath is in there. Now, I did buy myself one of these as well, which is it's just a sell point, but it's a container that basically accepts anything and everything, because at some point I might need some digestate to get rid of. So this is what this does, and if we need to get rid of slurry and stuff like that, again, this is perfect for that. It accepts anything. So what we need to do now, this field is pretty much ready. I've hooked up to this sprayer, and I'm going to go over to my new fields over the other end of the map where the cow pasture is, because I need to show you someone over there. So down at the bottom of the map then, near where our cow pasture is, I have sorted out a few more fields. So I have gone and bought number 46 and 47. Now that one has got grass in, it just needs fertilizing. You see, it's just not got nothing on it in the minute. This little one here is the one that we did grass on in the other episode, but it's not started to grow yet. So I might need to give that a helping hand by giving it a roll with the roller, turn it into the grass roller. And this has got wheat in. Now, the good thing about the wheat is it means it's going to be food for our chickens, which we haven't done anything with yet. The coop's in, but we haven't actually got any chickens yet because I'm waiting for that to be ready. It's not a million miles away, but it's still got a few stages to go, yeah. Now, I did want to sort out our own TMR as well for the cows. I did spend a little bit of money, and I did go and buy a TMR to keep them going for a while. It's not the most expensive, but again, it's all money at the end of the day. So these fields are going to help keep the silage going in our BGA, keeping that turning. Also, we can use some of this then for silage for the actual TMR and hay and straw. So we need to get a few fields down here. I'm really tempted with this one. Look at the size of that beauty. That is a beast. But it's 181,000. It's a lot of money. Got nothing in at the minute, so I think we'll wait until we can at least get some crop off it. I mean, we've got other ones here, but they're all a little bit funky kind of shape. This one's looks quite pretty straightforward. I mean, look at that. That's all over the place, that one. So I really want to go for this one, but there's nothing in it at the minute, as you can see. It's just been cultivated. So a farmer is waiting to put something in that one. But for now, we have got this field here. So this is my wheat field. Fair size this is. We'll be able to use this as well for like grass or any other crops. I do think that this here alone, this wheat, is going to be enough food for the chickens. That's really all we need the wheat for, is the chickens. We're not worrying about any factories yet. So the chickens will get us some eggs. Now we'll be able to turn this back into grass as well. So then we should have a nice amount of silage. So the chicken coop is here. It's on this little plot of land here that I showed you before, waste ground. It's just here. And this is a nice little old style coop that we've got in. Get some chickens in there, get us some eggs at the front here. That'd be quite nice. And it just makes some use of this little bit of land that we've got that we really can't do much with. Not worth cutting the grass on. It doesn't really give us much. And then next door, we don't walk into the post. Everything's looking pretty good around here. Cow pasture's doing well. Cows are doing good. Got these things in which hold the milk and slurry. Now that was a bit of an issue as well. If we go and have a look in here, it will show us on here. So 37,000 litres of slurry and 17,000 litres of milk. Now I did have a bit of an issue. We should have a lot more in there than we have, because we have sort of slept since the last episode, you know, a couple of months. So I just couldn't get these to work for some reason. Didn't realise you need the extension one on the side to sort of trigger it to work. So once I found that out, we're all good there. It's now working. And yours going into here, and it's building up quite nice. So everything around here is going pretty good. It's looking pretty nice around here. I am tempted to put a silo down this side. Again, we need a bit of money for that one. I did upgrade the trailer because, well, that other one was just really small to go back and forth with the TMR, because these take a lot. 1 million litres they take of food. As you can see, we've got 952,000 litres. Yeah, wasn't cheap, but it needs doing. We can just leave them alone now. So I bought myself this little ATV, all-terrain vehicle, yeah. Quite nice. In purple, spotlights on it. Bit of a flatbed, because that'll be quite good to transport eggs when they are here, and you can strap them as well. Got these little things. These are 82 Studios little tankers, and they hold a lot. Now, brown. Any guesses of what's going to go in there since it's brown? Yeah, slurry. Any guesses what's going to go in the white one? Milk. Now, it depends how far you want to take it. They're cheap enough. And I got two because obviously we need to move the slurry over to the BGA, and obviously the milk goes into a milk sort of processing plant. Now, you could just use the same one. You don't have to get separate ones, but I just didn't like the thought of putting poop in one and milk in another. I mean, ooh, no. So this is the thing that I've got, what's going to do the milk. It's just like a little container. You can see the milk goes around the side here. It's quite a nifty little thing, really. But it can also do like butter and chocolate and cheese. But I don't want it for that. This is what I want it for. So butter, cheese, chocolate, it does all that if you want it to. But I just want it for the raw milk. So we literally bring the milk over here. It turns it into the raw milk, and it just sells it directly. As you can see, we don't have anything here. Just sells it directly across. And that's what we want. So that's where the milk's going to go for now, into here. Don't really need to make any butter, cheese or anything, but we can do if need be. So if we do get the bakery going, we can obviously start doing butter and cheese and all that into there. Biogas plant is looking pretty good then. It's all working well. I did have to just sort a few little bits out after the last recording. I just had to sort of tweak a few little bits. So I needed to put another one of these in. It's a smaller one than that. You can see it's just a lot smaller size. It wasn't quite coping with the amount of stuff. And obviously this is what generates the electric. And obviously that's what pays us. And then this thing here, this is the beast. This is the silage tank. 3.6 million litres. And this is what's holding the digestate. So I didn't realise when it said about distributing it. I'll show you. So on here where it says there, distribute across biogas plants. I'm like, didn't know what that meant. Like, what's that actually going to do? But what it does, it takes it from here, the fermenter, and it stores it straight into here. So when I went to sleep the first time, I ran out of space and it stopped working. Now it just goes in here, and you can see there's a lot in here at the minute. There's 200,000 litres in here at the minute. So we can basically take the digestate from there, put it into a sprayer, and also use it on the fields, or just take it up to that container at our main farm and sell it. Now it won't bring in, you don't get rich off that, but it'll bring in some money. So that's enough for me rambling on about things. We've got one more job to do before we wrap up this episode. So we just need to come over to this new little grass field here and just give it a little spray. It's got no fertilizer on it at all. So we'll just give it a little go. We'll unlock the real speed so we can whiz around this one. It won't take long at all. This has got a mighty spray pattern on it. We'll go around the edge first. Then hopefully this should get us some nice grass. Now, I wonder if we're going to get more of this one than the first one that we had. Because the first one was like already done by the game itself. This one's been planted. So will it make much difference or not? I'm not sure if I'm honest. But it's definitely got to be better. Ooh, not quite all the way across. Surely planting your own grass has got to be better than the field already planted in-game. But either way, we could go through and plow up that field over there and redo it again. But we still got a nice amount off that. So with the help of this one, I was looking at the one over here as well. Now, farmer has just gone and put peas in this one. Maybe this might be nice to sort of take out this little road here and like make it into one big field. That's doable. Take out the road and, you know, join them together. If we're going to have a little look on the map, you'll see. Just go whiz all the way around past the settings and have a look on here. So this one here, 44 is the one that the peas in, 45's my grass field. So just sort of like plow across here, in here, and turn this into one big grass field. But again, they don't have to just stay grass fields. We can use them for whatever. So if we suddenly need some wheat for the chickens, or, you know, any food for the cows, and we can just replant them. But for now, I think that's pretty good. There's a lot of things done on here, and I'm hoping the lentils, when they're ready, I'm hoping we're going to get a nice amount, and they're going to make us rich. But for now, we need to let the grass grow. The BGA stopped for now because we ran out of silage. Bit of a shame. But the grass will grow. We'll cut that again. We'll turn it into silage. Cows should be okay for a while because they've got plenty of TMR. So all in all, I think that's been a pretty good episode. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next episode.